without further ado, yeah, okay, so could we call up Lady Dentaa, Amoateng? You're still here. Yeah, wonderful. Who is the president and founder of GUBA Foundation, GUBA Enterprise. Welcome. Then we also have Isaac Newton, Aquah, who represents Innovation Spark, the ITC, the national coordinator for that. Welcome, Isaac. Wonderful to have you. And last but not the least, Kourage Kweson. Where are you, Kourage? Kourage, okay, fantastic, Kourage. He's a social entrepreneur. He does a lot with, the farming community, and he has his own consultancy as well. So, in fact, let me pass the mic around and let's all just do a quick intro of ourselves.
Okay, my name is Kourage Boshiga, CEO of Kourage Investment Matrix, a social entrepreneur. We are into agribusiness, specifically rice, maize, cassava, and a bit of vegetables. We have close to 1,000 smallholder farmers in total.
My name is Dentaa Amoateng. I'm the founder of Grow, Unite, Build Africa. Started about 14 years ago in the UK, transitioned now on the continent. Really our aim is to bridge the diaspora, bring the diaspora home, let them see the investment opportunities, and also just create an ecosystem for us to be able to invest back home smoother. And so we have GUBA Diaspora Network, which basically helps businesses, individuals who want to do business on the continent. We help to make sure that it's a softer landing for people when they come, because lack of information, as we know, when you're coming back home, who do you go to, who do you talk to, how do you get a plumber? You know, all of these small little things frustrate some of us when we come back home. And so we've built a database of all of these things to help people come back. And then our foundation looks at supporting children living with autism, which is our big thing that we do, and infant mortality as well in education. So that's a bit about me. Thank you.
So I'm Kissy Ajuman-Togabo. I'm the co-founder of a company called Songhai Advisory. I co-founded the company about 13 years ago in the UK with a view to helping clients understand a bit better the investment landscape across Africa. And so we support clients across 4 broad areas. So we go from the very macro level analysis and strategic level support, helping clients understand, how policy change might affect their business decision making, to then helping clients think about markets and helping them with market intelligence strategies and really identifying the competitive landscape and supporting with that. We also do due diligence. So when there's a lot of clients that are thinking about specifically investing in a particular entity, we'll help them to understand if there's sort of reputational risk and how to navigate that. And we also do work around leadership in terms of helping to identify particularly C-suite level candidates for clients that are looking for certain type of profiles of leaders. So that's me in a nutshell. Also a mother of 1, not 3, and I also have recently started a small school, which has been a joy actually, and yeah, so those are the few hats that I wear.
My name is Isaac Newton Aquah. I'm the National Project Coordinator for the International Trade Center, Netherlands Trust Fund 5, is a whole mouthful, but essentially we're funded by the Dutch government to implement tech programs across Africa. I'm doing this for Ghana, supporting 25 tech startups and 20 IT business process outsourcing companies, helping them scale and internationalize. That's my 9 to 5. My 5 to 9 is with the the Innovation Spark. We help ideate, innovate, and implement. So we run different accelerator programs, e-commerce programs, incubator programs, and now also having a media house called the Ghana Innovation Journal, where we help journal what's happening in the Ghana landscape, because there's so much happening, but people just don't know. So especially on business, tech, and creative sector as well, through a new entity called Suya, Show Us Your Art. We are helping people see what's happening And we also create reports, having deep dives, showing the landscape of what's happening in the space.
Would you be happy just to share a few reflections in terms of, key highlights from the report? What are the things that, inspired you most from that piece of research?
So once again, I think there's a lack of data, lack of information, and you need information to thrive and to make decisions, which is why we brought this report. We're looking at the Ghana landscape, and it's really interesting to see what's really taking place. For example, fintech always has the highlight of what's being funded, what's most important, and it's one of the most funded areas. But in Ghana, it's actually health tech that is the biggest industry that is funded. So there's some quite interesting insights there. In most parts of the world, males dominate the fund, but this year in Ghana, it's females that are dominating. We also highlight different things that the government is doing. So, people always complain about the government, and I have my own complaints, but there are good things that they're doing. There are different policies they're putting out. One of the startups in the cohort, Grow For Me, they do agri-tech, and they have a crowdfunding platform for it. And they help spearhead a policy change with the Securities Exchange Commission to now having a policy around crowdfunding for the country. So now we have one of the first crowdfunding policies in Africa, which is spearheaded by a startup here in Ghana. And this will allow anybody to more or less have their own crowdfunding platform and then be able to invest into various entities. So there are a lot of things that are now happening, and we try to highlight these things so people are aware of what's happening. For me, one of the biggest highlights in the report is that we have over 100 hubs in Ghana. So before, we always thought hubs are only in Accra. We have Mest in the House, we have KIC. These are some of the leading hubs in Ghana, happen to be in Accra. But now we have 100 hubs spread across the whole region of Ghana. So all the way in the north, in the Volta region, in the western region, we have hubs supporting startups. And it's fascinating because the first hub started close to 12 years ago, Impact Hub Accra. And now, across 12 years, we now have 100 hubs in all areas. So there's this huge development that's happening and taking place, from funding, from different types of startups coming up. And we help document and showcase them in our report.
I would love for you to share a bit more about, the innovation that you're starting with the farmers and crypto. Can you talk a bit about that?
All right, thank you. We've worked with smallholder farmers in diverse ways. But as the year is coming to an end, we want to give them financial inclusion in the alternative way of raising funds for those smallholder farmers. And my brother said crowdfunding has become an itch of the day as an opportunity whereby 2 or 3 people can come together to P2P or whatever it is with a common goal to raise funds. For the past couple of years, smallholder farmers across Ghana have been implementing that. Some also formed village savings and loan associations in that regard. So we sat down, we thought, and we want to bring something new into the stream. And we all know that cryptocurrency is the future. Since everything is going digital, and in this fourth industrialization era that we find ourselves, if you want to transact business, you have to have the e-wallet. And Bitcoin, crypto is the future. So we thought around it, and we want to create something new. And we are coming out with Money Matrix Farm Coin. What is Money Matrix Farm Coin? We want to tap into the crypto world. The impact investors, those that are having their funds out there, they want to do something in farming. We are giving them opportunity, whereby you can buy our farm coin, or if you have crypto, you can invest into our farm coin. And that investment goes directly into a portfolio vehicle that goes to bring opportunity to these smallholder farmers in areas like land preparation, access to hybrid varieties of inputs, among others. So if we are able to create this mainstream, we will be able to make sure that alternative funding from the crypto world will be very accessible to our smallholder farmers too. Then we also did some few feasibility studies to know their technical know-how, if they know about crypto. Interestingly, the aged, our fathers, they do not know anything about crypto. But the frontier of Ghana agriculture now, the youth are playing a lot of roles. Maybe because of the impact hubs or KIC, MEST, among others, pushing the agenda. So the new players that are coming into the agri landscape now have knowledge in the crypto world. So why won't we capitalize on that and push the agenda that, yes, if we are looking at funding, the banks are not willing to invest into smallholder farmers. The crowdfunding opportunity that they are exploring to is also getting choked, though there are a lot of rooms and opportunity out there. Now, can we do something new in the crypto world? People have money. They want to invest. Food security is very essential now. And those that are trading in Bitcoin, crypto, or whatever it is, are willing to also invest into the agriculture landscape. So we want to create a platform for them that if you have a Bitcoin or a crypto, you can invest that into agriculture, and that will yield a returns for you. You know, the fear that it's a Ponzi scheme, or many have tried cryptos, failures, challenges here and there. We are saying that FarmQueen, there will be no challenge, because definitely what your fund is going to do is going to farm. It's going to go into rice farming. It's going to go into cassava farming. It's going to go into cash crop farming, or anything that is edible. And you know that food has a necessity. Every day, day in, day out, we all need to eat. So if we put our funds into those places with very good sustainable plan, I believe the future will be very bright. And with crypto is the future. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the platform as well. Really appreciate it. I was telling Tony earlier today that we did crypto. I was saying that me and my husband don't want to hear Bitcoin, coin this, crypt, whatever, web, whatever, because we invested when it first started, and we just lost a lot of money, and my husband's like, nah, no, we're not doing this. If anybody comes to you and says any of these letters, don't mind them. Coinbase, this coin, farm coin, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them, but it is the reality. We are in that phase. I remember when Momo started, I refused to do Momo. I was like, I'm not about this. I'm about use my cash, and I'm not ready to put any money on a phone. And now I use Momo more than anything, right? And sometimes it's just, we think it's not going to happen, but it's happening, and we have to get ready for it. And so it is a discussion, and I was saying to Tony again, Web3, Web5, all of these things are happening. How do we prepare ourselves? And even if you look at the government, how active are they in that space to help us make sure that we get the right policies, the right crypto people that are coming into the space, that we're not getting duped? And I think they're trying to, BOG is trying to get into that space and understand it a bit more. And I think a lot of African countries need to go into that realm, because whatever we do is going to happen, and we need to make sure that we prepare ourselves for it. Look, the diaspora, we're sending 100 billion of remittances every year. Last year was 100 billion. Some of the top countries are Nigeria, Ghana, Egypt, Morocco, etc. How do we take advantage of that and use crypto? How do we expand? And so these are all the conversations that are happening. And it's exciting. And I think, even at schools now, my children are talking about that. And so I know that I do have to get back into it at some point, but it is the future. And so I think we need to be making sure that we are teaching our kids about it, they know about it, and yeah, we continue like that. But I think we need to embrace it, and the time is now to do that.
And on that $100 billion, there was an 11% tax that was adjudicated by the banking system for the privilege of delivering that $100 billion. So that's $11 billion that gets siphoned away through just utilizing the system. And so when we talk about crypto, when I was talking about earlier, that's the perfect example of finding efficiencies around speed and cost that have real impact. $11 billion more dollars, or let's say it's $10 billion more dollars, which is probably close to realistic. That's a significant amount of capital flowing back onto the continent in a way that's meaningful. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
So I think I can share the Ministry of Communication. They are working on a digital economy policy, and they've actually allocated or earmarked emerging as one part that they want to focus on. So coming from the ministry point of view, they're actually looking at how to embrace emerging technologies from crypto, from AI and other things, and try to bring Ghana and the policies into the 21st century. As well, I think Dentaa kind of alluded to the Bank of Ghana, and they are working on the central bank digital currency, which is more or less the central bank crypto version in a 101 level. But it's showing that they are looking at crypto from a government point of view. And I think once that they do that, and once it happens, MTech and others are working on it. So they had a hackathon that was launched at the African Money and DeFi Summit that happened in October in Ghana. But once they do that, that will have a very clear indication that the government and Ghana is more ready for crypto and more ready for Web3 in general, which will spur more entrepreneurs, more hubs, more ecosystem players to also jump on board. So I think obviously it often happens that the startups move first. And we have great startups, Yellow Card and WeWire and others in the space already. But once the government also gets on board with policy and with very groundbreaking institutions like Bank of Ghana using crypto, more people would follow and trust it. I know you got burnt at the beginning, but I think also with a lot of new technologies that happened. If you look back at the internet, Web 1.0, we had the .com bubble at the beginning, and lots of money was lost. And that's when Amazon first started, and now we're all using Amazon, all using Uber, and all using these web companies. So unfortunately, I'm sorry that you had to be a pioneer, but thank you for pioneering. But I'm hoping now we'll have less bubbles and less crashes in the space.
I mean, like it provides clarity. It has to be good regulation. It needs to be done out of a scarcity mindset or fear. But as long as those two things are done, it actually provides the right rails, and it allows for everybody to have confidence that what they're investing in or what they're participating in is safe.
Very true. And you mentioned the word trust before. So, with the right kind of regulation, it should inspire more trust in the system. So that's good. Maybe at this point, we might do well to open this up for Q&A from the audience. You've been sitting patiently and